Dick Hank Productions presents the BearDown Corner with your host, Sergeant Cornholio. Yo, sports fans. Sergeant Cornholio here. This is the BearDown Corner, and we are coming to you live from the Dick Hank Productions studio, which is my basement. But, that's the joke of the week. So, how was everyone's weekend? I hope you had a grand one. I know I did. I got to watch 2 really good football games. And in doing so, we got some news and notes about that, a little bit around the league news, and of course, the head coaching. Sorry, apparently I got a frog in my throat this week, and the head coaching carousel as it be in the NFL, with only 1 spot remaining in the head coaches. So, let's just jump right into it, right? NFC Championship, Sunday. It was a slobber knocker. It was. But not in the way you expected. So a lot of people are calling, Philadelphia landslided Washington. No, you know what? The score does say that, but I always look at it from a different perspective, right? It's about possessional football, right? So you start breaking down the numbers, you don't win with 3 turnovers. You just don't. And that wasn't on just the quarterback. No, it was a whole team of failure in that department. 3 different guys in 3 different hard scenarios gave Philadelphia the game. Now, it was a team loss, right? It wasn't just one guy. But when you give up 28 points on 4 turnovers, now, you know what? It's still on the stat sheet, the interception by Jaden Daniels, but I just want to clarify right now. In my view and opinion, as everyone else has theirs and is entitled to it, he was throwing a garbage time interception for the defense. He was. That ball got picked off because he was being forced to make the throws, which you do got to come up with as a superstar once in a while, and he had. He had in that game. But the way they were playing defense was such a high percentage that they would have picked it off or caused the, pass deflection. It wasn't on the kid. He played as lights out as you could want from your rookie quarterback, okay, in his first year. So, Jaden Daniels, this is just going to be a growing stepping stone for you, kid. That interception, that I don't consider that. That's one of those because of situational, all right? But what it does break down to is still a loss of the Washington Commanders as they fall to the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, when you give up 4 turnovers and 28 points off that, there's a bit of a story. The story breaks down simply as Dyami Brown didn't make his catch for his quarterback and hold on to the ball. No, what happened is you had a linebacker come around the other boy, and he went for the Charles Peanut Tillman, bam, right to the slobber knocker of that ball. Okay? He punched the crap out of that thing. As I'm watching this, I'm just like, holy shit. What are you doing to the poor kid? Like they went right after him. But they were trying to do that the whole game, though. The whole game. So, Dyami Brown, you go down 7-3 after you just kick a field goal. First play of Philly's next possession, 60-yard plus scamper for fucking Saquon Barkley, man. He, boop, 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 pinball, just down, in, finished, 1 shot. So what happens? You're on the pursuing drive, and your receiver fumbles the ball. He just couldn't hold on tight. And it sucks because then you let another touchdown immediately after that, and you go down bigger, right? They made a game of it. They came back, and then they turned the ball over, right? You have Jeremy McNichols to follow up the Dyami cluster shit with a... This was after Philly went up 20-12. Okay, so here's how it broke down. Quick and short. Washington came back, scored. McLaren caught his touchdown on that drive. I remember that. And then right after, they go and make it a 1-point game or something like that. Philadelphia drives. They score the touchdown. Okay, you're only down a touchdown and 2-pointer, right? Then your guy on the kickoff return, boom, drops it. Not much else really to say other than that. Boom, up, touchdown. They're up another score, right? And this seemed to be the theme of the game, where it's like, just as Washington would get a little momentum, get pushing a bit, Philadelphia would bring them back. Sit down, little brother. We are of the NFC East. We shall represent the NFC. Your time will come. It is our time right now. Dude, I need to do a little kind of an apology to the Eagles this season, but not so much. I knew they were a good team. And I discredited their defense for being as good as they were after week 5 this year. Like, they have shown the doubters. They are back in the Super Bowl after 2 years removed. Like, to be honest, just because I don't want the other to win, I'm taking the Eagles in the Super Bowl. There's my prediction. I'll throw it in as we're talking about the NFC Championship. Basically, followed up, you had fucking Washington put a 55 burger on the Washington Commanders as they only scored 23. They kept it in reach, but the third and final fumble of all the turnovers, right? You got good old reliable Austin Eckler taking a smack in the NFC title game late in the third quarter that pretty much just like shink. It put the dagger in. It put the dagger in, and that was it. That was it. And it's unfortunate because you had Daniels, who he was 29 of 48. Like, very well completion percentage-wise if you're basing off of, a game script that has you throw the ball 50 times, right? Through 255, 1 pass touchdown, 1 rush touchdown, right? We're going to give some love to Zach Ertz, the veteran tight end. He had 11 catches, 104, right? Like, the guys put up the numbers needed to win. Turnovers won the Philadelphia Eagles another trip to the Super Bowl. And let's not forget Saquon Barkley. He has made such an impact. When you signed him in the offseason, Philadelphia, you were making a statement, okay? Because you already proved you can do what you did last year and the year before. You are a very good offense. What did you need to do and go upgrade? Running back. What did you do? Upgrade. Significantly. Barkley is of a certain talent pool that everyone else, they pull this stuff off, but he just makes it look effortlessly. On his first run of the game, the man just blows by the whole, like, here's the pile of the offensive linemen, defensive line, linebackers, all that cluster, right? You had a couple Commanders players fall in behind the line, so they're getting tripped up. You still had 4 defenders up in that area. He blew and snuck out of all of them. So, honestly, if Barkley wins MVP in the Super Bowl, if they win, I hope they do. I feel they should. I think on paper, Buffalo should have taken care of business, and we're going to get into that in a moment. But Philadelphia is playing way above what I feel for the Kansas City Chiefs and their refs that they have in their back pocket with the whole conspiracy crap. You know what? I'm not going to play into all of that because I still have some hope and faith within the game of football, okay? But definitely there's some little ears being spoken to by the head of the officiating because of Roger Goodell. Won't get too deep, but that's pretty much the sum up, okay? It's like if you maybe just let a few slide here, throw a few over there, you'll be fine. I'm sorry, but some of the calls, let's just jump right to the AFC title. Okay, NFC Championship, Philadelphia Eagles will be representing the NFC as your representatives by beating the Washington Commanders 55-23. That is the final from the NFC side of things before we get to the Super Bowl. AFC title game, Buffalo lost a goddamn tight one, and man, it burns me a little bit. It burns me. There was no reason Buffalo had to go for it 6 goddamn times on 4th down if the goddamn ball would have been placed where it should have been. Those refs were short-chaining the goddamn ball and positioning. I wonder why. My take on it, my views, my opinions, whatever everyone else believes, that is your choice. That is your freedom. But damn, dude, like, what are you guys being paid extra on the side? Really, what are you being paid extra? And of course, the 2 that they fail, because every 4th down is crucial, critical, man. All the guys that, you hear the other sportscasters, you see the other articles out there. Yeah, they're going to talk about, the 2 most crucial downs that they got wrong. Every 4th down is crucial. Get your head out of your ass. But when it comes down to what happened last night, what happened on Sunday for the AFC, it's a goddamn travesty that you know what, let them play out. Yeah, because your goddamn DBs and safeties all game, Kansas City, they were all over the wide receivers, but not in the way of me saying it in a good way. Okay, I say it because they basically were, you know what, if you're a DB, you look back at the ball when that thing's coming to you as a receiver. Okay, when you're covering your receiver, you're a DB, make that look back and quickly come back if you want to not get called on pass interference. My God, these guys, it didn't matter. It's like they had eyes on the back of their head and the ref was just like, okay, like they put those 2 little Google eyes on the back and they could see them spinning around, right? Oh, he has eyes on the ball. The goddamn defenders were encroached all over the goddamn receivers, dude. Everyone from running backs to tight ends to the regular receivers. All of them were basically being hugged by the DBs of the Kansas City Chiefs and nothing was being done. Again, my hot take, my opinion, I don't like, I get physical football, I do, but if you're going to do it for them, you do it for the Bills too. At that point, you throw all caution to the wind and you let them just play the fucking game. Like, with exception to, really stupid stuff, but you let them play the game. You didn't even do that. No. We're gonna, put the ball placement right here so that way, literally on like fucking 3rd downs, when they should have even had it on 2nd down, or had it on 3rd down and then placed it for the next 4th, they were short-chaining them at least a dozen times on Sunday. It was stupid. Sorry, I had an itch and I just had a moment of reflection. It's football. It is what it is, because you know what? At the end of the day, Josh Allen said it best, ladies and gentlemen. To be the champs, you got to beat the champs. So if that means they got to up it just a little bit more, I'm Bills fans. I'm excited next year. I'm excited. Josh Allen has such a fire lit under his ass. That's another discussion for another day, though. Final on it. You had a tight 30, what was that? 32-29 was the final. Kansas City went down late in the 4th, kicked the field goal. Bills basically had your last shot. I could go into the description of the whole game, but I'm not gonna. Because you know what? It was a knocking back and forth game. And if you weren't watching it, well, you missed out as a football fan. I'll just say that. But definitely go out to the interwebs and get some highlights. Because, man, Mac Hollins, I'll just say this, because you can probably find Mac Hollins anywhere on the internet right now. I think he was trending number 2 on Google or something like that. He came down with such a beautiful catch, man. Both hands. That ball placement, right in there. Brings it down, drops to his knees, in for the touchdown. Defender was all over his ass. All over his ass. Like, the flag was already thrown, but the touchdown was already called. So it didn't matter. Beautiful catch. And that, like, shit like that, the Bills have the ability to do. So, again, Bills fans, just a little more patience. He'll get there. So, Josh Allen, with a final of 22 of 34, 237 for 2 pass touchdowns and 39 rush yards. He didn't lose any of the 3 fumbles that fell out of his hand, but it was just because he usually was being pumped, knocked, and whatever else, and everyone had it. So he recovered most of them. Patty Mahomes, 18 of 26, 245, 1 pass, 2 rush touchdowns. Those play designs, like, when you're having to get so inventive that you got to go back to the play runs with Patty Mahomes, I don't know. Thought you maybe have a little bit better pass plays. I don't know. Throw a couple underneath slants. Like, not that hard for Patrick Mahomes, I would have to think. But are you masking some deficiencies there, Kansas City? I think you are. Kareem Hunt. Like, quick little 2 players from the Kansas City, and then we're moving on to some head coaching carousel. Kareem Hunt surprised me with the volume he received over Isaiah Pacheco on Sunday, but he got it done with 64 on the ground and 1 touchdown. And also Xavier Worthy, the rookie season of his for the Kansas City Chiefs. Okay, now you're seeing what he can do in the playoffs. He had a touchdown, 85 yards in the ground for 6 receptions. And watching those receptions, like, I can see why they picked him. So continue it, kid. Like, you'll be his number 1 target for years to come. But, man, there was some blood probably spilt on Sunday, and we just weren't told about it, for sure. Because, man, those teams were knocking heads like a son of a gun. All right. Let's jump right to it. We got the head coaching carousel on the BearDown corner. Okay, here we go. Let's just start right with it because I didn't get a chance to get super excited about it last week because, well, we reported literally just after finalization of last week's episode, this news came across me. So I'm happy to present Ben Johnson, the new head coach of the Chicago Bears. I am very happy. I've been advocating for Ben Johnson on like from this part of the world here in Little Town, you know. I'm happy. I'm happy with this head coach hire. I was pissed when we hired Eberflus, who gives a shit. I don't care about that guy. Matt Nagy, I was all right with when we hired him years back. But Ben Johnson, with what we have on offense and his mastermind, I like where we're headed. I really do. And Caleb Williams, I think, is happy too. And that whole locker room of dudes. Like, maybe Keenan Allen comes back another year. We see what was supposed to be. But I don't know. I'm excited. Ben Johnson, great hire, Chicago. We needed an offensive-minded guy. Enough of this defensive hiring shit. You're not falling back into that. We should have done that with poor Justin Fields the last time, but we basically gave him the shank because Eberflus couldn't get it fucking done. But we now have Caleb Williams, and Chicago's on a prosper way forward with deep hopes in my heart. Next, on the quarterback leading head coach carousel. The reason I say that is because Las Vegas Raiders, okay, they hired Pete Carroll. Shout out to Seattle fans. Shout out to my buddy over at the Oxbow Poolies there, Mr. Mark, and your Seattle Seahawks former head coach, now going to the Las Vegas Raiders. But it was for naught but the legendary quarterback Tom Brady. And I say that because after reading different multiple sides and sources, stories, all that fun stuff, because why not? Tom Brady has been very heavily involved this offseason from the GM candidate that was a former assistant GM over in Tampa Bay. He played there for the final 3 years of his career, so he has some personal knowledge there. He helped with the fact of knowing how well Pete Carroll played against him and what he brought to the table. So let's go get the old vet and see if we can make a quick turnaround, because you can always put a succession plan in after. But let's get this thing going in Las Vegas, right? I like the Raiders personally. Just they just that grit, that certain attitude of the old days. They still got it. They still have that, but just bad timing, bad injuries, all of it. Just they've had some bad luck, and they're trying to get it turned around. What better than legendary quarterback Tom Brady, who is a minority owner in the Raiders organization now, than to help lead these searches with a fresh knowledge of recently only being retired, like 2 years removed? What better than knowledge of the old, the present, and what's currently going on? Because he's staying up to date on that. All his dudes are telling him things from Tampa Bay. Not in like any, like, he should get in trouble kind of way, but just like, he has current up-to-date knowledge. Why wouldn't you want that leading the pack? So congratulations to Pete Carroll becoming a head coach once again in the NFL. Jacksonville will throw in there because this relates to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offensive coordinator, Liam Cohen, the new head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. I guess Sean Khan decided that, hey, I'll get you an offensive-minded head coach that's young, and you two are going to work together and hopefully make and bring something here to Jacksonville. I think that's definitely why he was like, yeah, we see what he did with Baker. Let's do what we can over here if you like it, right? I guarantee Trevor Lawrence had some kind of input on this decision, but why not? If you're paying the guy $50+ million a year on a multi-year contract, be your franchise quarterback, and long hair, cool, whatever the hell you want to call him, is going to be Fabio looking, throwing touchdowns, then do it. Because if not, you might as well hit the restart, draft a quarterback, and go get a head coach that wants that quarterback. But if you're going to, hire your head coach that the quarterback wants to work with, I don't know. We'll just leave that 2 cents there. Let it brew. Let it stir. Maybe talk about it next week. To follow up, New England. I think I talked about this last week, so we'll just touch on it quick. Mike Vrabel is back with the New England Patriots as their head coach. I don't like what happened with the whole Gerard Mayo, but obviously it was within his contract succession plan, and that was their out. Bad season. Rookie quarterback. Should have been given a couple years at least. But, hey, whatever. New York Jets. The counterpart from the Lions, sorry. The Detroit Lions lost not just their OC this week, but their DC as well, as Aaron Glenn gets a shot at head coaching in the NFL. Congratulations, Aaron Glenn. This has been a long time coming, and I hope... In fact, no, I really wish you good luck, because we'll just toss this story and kind of include some of the around the league stuff. The Jets owner, right, he came out and basically said the Aaron Rodgers decision to bring him back on his final year of his contract, $24 million, none of it's guaranteed. They could cut his ass if they want, but quarterback friendly. If he wanted to, go one more run, he's already said he would. And Aaron Glenn might be on board from what I'm kind of hearing, but I'm not going to confirm anything there yet. I'm not 100% with that, but to my knowledge, I think Glenn is interested in bringing him back maybe. And the owner just came out and said that'll be up to the new head coach, Aaron Glenn, and the new GM. So I don't know. Will Aaron Rodgers step back on the field for the New York Jets? Time will tell. Aaron Glenn will make a decision, and they'll move forward from there. But congratulations, Aaron Glenn. The Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys are like a soap opera as well, just like the New York Jets. But really, there's not much story other than surprise by people. When you have Brian Schottenheimer getting his chance at being a head coach for the first time in 25 years of being an assistant. Jerry Jones is stepping out of the box in a way that equivalates to me kind of like, because if you look at his history and stuff, like he's had some okay seasons. He's held it together. He's put together a decent career. Probably lives off, the legendary Marty Schottenheimer's name. But hey, whatever. Brian, I'm happy for you. You're getting a shot. Jerry Jones is happy to give you this shot. He even said that this is like him taking a risk. So he's even acknowledging this info that we already know. And in doing so, maybe he wants to keep some familiarity. Maybe it's going to give him an opportunity to see if other head coaches become available. Who knows? Who knows? But he's taking a more conservative, risk gambling in a way approach to this. So if he has the faith behind Brian Schottenheimer to basically say, you're going to be, he basically said at the press conference when he made the announcement, it was Schottenheimer is a 25-year assistant, but no longer, as he is now the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Like, what a position that should be valued as all hell for every head coach to get to, I guess, in some point is how I've kind of read about it. That's how they value the Cowboys franchise. But what an opportunity as your first gig to stay with the franchise that you were working for previous year, right? And to now lead them. All right, guys, McCarthy's out. Schottenheimer, you're in. Next man up. I don't know. Maybe it's a different approach. Maybe Jerry's just trying to step outside the box in a way that he usually doesn't. Because he usually doesn't do it like that. The last within hiring he did was Jason Garrett. Jason Garrett was his OC that he paid extra to keep from going to, I think it was the New York Giants head coaching position at that time. Because he basically you're going to be the next head coach. And he was when his time came. And Garrett had some successful seasons. He's now a broadcaster, and it is what it is. But Dallas hasn't been to the NFC title game in over 30 years. They're trying everything they can. So let's see how this plays out. I'm actually intrigued. I'm intrigued by this. So I want to see how this one plays out. And to finish, New Orleans, shout out to my boys down there in Monroe. Woo woo. Kellen Moore and Mike Kafka. Okay. Both former quarterbacks. One played for Philly. One played, I think, for Philly and other multiple teams, Kellen Moore. And same with Kafka. I think he was in KC for a while. Okay, so they're now offensive coordinators for their respective teams. Joe Brady, offensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills, withdrew from the head coaching candidacy. That makes me wonder what's going on, but I know Kellen and Kafka have second interviews. One's already done one's scheduled. So I don't know what's going to happen down there in New Orleans. That team has the makeup of being able to make a playoff push if everyone's healthy, because basically Loomis, I think it is. Yeah. Gail Loomis down there, owner. And then the president and all that, they basically, their approach to it is they want to find the right person because they basically blamed it all on injuries and so forth, just as every other NFL team. But they do have a roster. So a defense removed from being a top 10 not even 2 years ago, a veteran quarterback, and a plethora of talent. Kamara had a resurrection year. I don't know. It'll be interesting. I like New Orleans. It'll be an interesting turnaround for the Saints. So good luck down there. To finish some around the league news, Ravens extend Monken, are in the process of finalizing that. We already talked Jets owners, Steelers fans. Art Rooney recently came out talking about he would be happy to re-sign either Wilson or Fields, but he knows he can only have one, not both, because price tag, of course, right? I think it's like 40 plus mil they're projected to have for cap this offseason. He acknowledged that he would really like to keep and bring one of them back for continuity and stuff. He wants that quarterback contract, though, to be of a multi-year instead of just this one-year deal stuff. But then that brings around to the next subject, right? Okay, well, Wilson's 36, and he actually mentioned age will be taken into consideration when we're deciding, right? So, multi-year contract, you go to a age factor that does not leave out drafting a quarterback, right? Because Fields is only 26. He's capable of playing quarterback within a style system developed around him, and he can do that in the Steelers. They won enough games this year. In fact, I'm pretty sure that if you look at percentage win-wise, his, what did he go, 4-2? Pretty sure it was. And then Wilson took him for 6-1 and then lost his last 5. But all those losses were tough. The Steelers are not far off. Let me say that. They have a championship caliber defense. They have the offensive pieces. Maybe sign a veteran receiver, draft a receiver, you know, some extra talent in that pool. Running back, they're all right with Warren and Najee Harris. It's the quarterback room that is not solidified since Big Ben is basically retired. And that might be my take, but I'm pretty sure he's playing in fucking Philly now, going as the backup. Whatever the hell his name is. I don't even remember. Kenny Pickett. There it is. Kenny Pickett. That didn't really pan out. Like, they win games because Tomlin is a great head coach. And there are rumors maybe of him possibly being, him not being intrigued, but other teams trying to inquire about him this offseason because apparently it was like, oh, he lost in the playoffs again. No, look, everything happens. Everything goes down. Honestly, you should have just fucking ran it with Fields. Screw it. You know what? It looked like it was panning out of the first 6-7 weeks with Wilson in the season, but Fields maybe long-term, screw it. He gets the starting role and he keeps it, and all of a sudden it's a whole different story in the playoffs. He'll have his struggles, but Fields is a hell of a quarterback. Take that from a Bears fan. It's just getting it all together, and you can't do that on just one-year deals. Sign one of them multi-year or go draft a guy. Either way, you're going to have your multi-year contract. I honestly don't think age is really an issue for Art Rooney. Like, I really don't. But he probably said that because it leaves the door open to draft a quarterback. Because really then, age is viewed at 36, 26, and like 21. Right? So who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? Maybe they go and get that Sanders kid. Maybe they go and, trade up in the draft. Shock everyone. Right? We'll see. Steeler Nation. Shout out to my other homie. Oxbow Poolies. Steelers fan. You know who I'm talking. All right. I think that's rounding us up to another conclusion of a current segment with one last little tidbit, which was only brought to my attention recently, and I want to just throw in here. Leonard Williams. I like Leonard Williams. He is a Seahawks defensive player, lineman, and he will be replacing Jalen Carter on the Pro Bowl roster, which, honestly, for the season that he had, I personally don't think he should have been snubbed, but a rod's been corrected, and now he's going to the Pro Bowl. Congratulations, Leonard Williams, on a great year and a Pro Bowl berth. Yeah, that is the conclusion of Around the League on the BearDown Corner, head coaching carousel, and your 2 championship recaps. Moving forth, we got the Super Bowl on tap from 2 weeks from Sunday that just passed. Got the Pro Bowl this upcoming weekend and the Super Bowl after that. Philadelphia, Kansas City. We'll have your game preview on the next episode of the BearDown Corner. I'm Sergeant Cornholio. Thank you for taking the time to sit here, be with us, and hopefully have fun. Be safe, take care, and we'll catch you around.